This will change how people say yes to you. Because if you feel like you have to convince people to buy your product or your service or your opportunity, or you have to convince people to join you in your business, you're already losing them. And this will change everything about how you sell because most people think getting a yes is about saying the right thing, having the perfect scripts, handling objections, explaining things better. But that's not how people actually make decisions. And if you're relying on that, that's exactly why people keep saying no. So if we're meeting for the first time, my name is Cari Higham. Welcome to the Beach Boss Influencers podcast. I'm pumped to be here with you. And here at Beach Boss, we coach and train network marketers, home business entrepreneurs, and affiliate marketers, solopreneurs, how to grow businesses online using audience automation, using AI, using systems and processes. And a lot of the concepts that we teach from the experience of growing our own business to a $26 million company in the last 6 years. And so, when it comes to sales, like I want you to be honest with yourself. You've probably had those conversations where someone seems interested, right? Like you think they might be interested. They're asking questions. They might even be engaged with you. And then at the end, they say something like, I'll think about it. Or, well, it sounds great, but let me know how it goes. Right? And you never hear from them again. And it leaves you wondering, like, what did I do wrong? Like, but this is where most people misunderstand what's actually happening. And I'm speaking from my own experience here. Before I actually understood how to grow a targeted audience online, and before I understood what it looked like to, build influence or some know, like, and trust with people before I promoted my offers, that was my entire life was getting ignored, blocked, rejected, ghosted, and it was frustrating, and I thought that maybe there was something wrong with me, and it wasn't that there was anything wrong with me, it was that I was in the game of chasing. I was in the game of convincing, and because of that, it actually repelled the people that I was trying to attract. And so here's the truth. People do not say yes because you've convinced them. They say yes because they were already ready. And the industry, it really has this backwards because it teaches you to push or to persuade or just to immediately sell, sell, sell. Right. And I mean, when you look at these big network marketing companies, when you look at these big affiliate marketing companies, they're hoping to tap into the networks you already have. And if you already have a network and if you already have influence, it makes sense to immediately go to that network and start promoting to that network. But if you're like me and you had zero influence starting out, you had zero people that were willing to hand over their credit card to buy when you got started, then you got to change things up a little bit to become that person of value, that person that has some influence before people are going to say yes to buying. All right. People don't say yes because you convince them. And this industry is teaching you to push, to persuade, to just go straight to selling and closing. But that creates pressure. And pressure naturally creates resistance. Because when someone feels like they're being moved and it's not their idea, they pull back. And it's not because they don't want it. They might actually want what you have, but because it doesn't feel like their decision. So, what actually gets people to say yes? Well, I want to help simplify it today in just a few steps so that you can understand what actually gets people to say yes after you've had that conversation. So, number one, people say yes when they feel seen, not when they feel sold to. When someone feels like, oh, that's exactly what I've been going through, they start to trust you. And it's that trust that opens the door. But trust doesn't happen without understanding first. And then number two, People say yes when they believe it's actually possible for them. People, when they're sitting down, let's say that you're sitting down with a potential prospect to like grow a business, the two questions they're asking themselves is this real? And can I do this? And if you don't answer those two questions, they will never join it. All right. And, when people believe it's possible for them, they say yes. It's not when they see your results, but when they see themselves in the process, when they think, I could actually do this, that's when the decision starts forming. And then number three, people say yes when it feels like their choice. And this was the biggest shift for me. If you push, they resist. However, if you guide, they decide. And that's the biggest difference that I would say is focus less on trying to force people into a decision, focus less on trying to say the right thing that's going to get the yes, and instead start looking at yourself as an advisor or like a doctor that is doing a diagnosis of where is this person at? What is their pain? What are they struggling with? And then, based on where they want to go, does your opportunity or your product or your service get them from where they're at to where they want to be? And if you can't answer yes to that question, don't try to sell them, right? Like, it's just going to be awkward. It's going to end in them, running from you in the grocery store. And here's the thing, this is exactly what we've built our entire system around because we've seen what happens when you try to force a yes. We've been there. You're going to get hesitation. You're going to get ghosting. You're going to have very few conversations to actually grow your business off of. However, when you align your process with how people actually make decisions, you don't have to chase a yes. People actually start coming to you based on the value that you provide. And we've helped thousands of network marketers shift into this over the last few years. And when this clicks, everything starts to feel different because you're no longer overthinking conversations. You're not trying to say the perfect thing. You're not feeling rejected when someone says no. So instead, you're going to have conversations with people who already trust you, who already believe in whatever it is that you're promoting and are already open. And now you're not convincing, you're confirming. And that's when people start saying yes, when the energy is in alignment with where they're at, where they want to go. Man, it's not a matter of if they'll say yes at that point. That's when people do start saying yes more consistently and your business starts to feel natural and simple and the conversations that you have with people end way more effective. So if you want to see exactly how to create this kind of flow step by step, I put together a free guide that shows you how to turn your content into conversations that actually convert. You can grab it in the description. It's going to be somewhere attached to this video, depending on where you're watching. If you're listening, go check out the link in our bio. If you're listening on podcast, you can grab it. And if this changed how you think about selling, make sure you smash that subscribe button so that you do not miss any other tips, any other videos, podcast style, whatever we put out here to really help you grow your business, because this is exactly what we're going to keep breaking down from here. Share this with someone you think might get value, and we'll see you on the next episode.